You know that feeling, right? That sudden hot surge of anger that just takes over? But what if that feeling isn't the real story? Today, we're going to look beneath the surface of one of our most powerful and maybe most misunderstood emotions to figure out what it's really trying to tell us.
And really, this question right here, it's the key to everything we're going to talk about. The goal is to stop seeing anger as this big, bad problem we have to get rid of and start seeing it for what it is, a messenger, a really important one. So let's figure out what message it's trying to deliver.
Okay, so let's start with the part of anger we all know, that surface level stuff. It's that flash of heat, when you stub your toe on the coffee table and just let out a stream of words you probably shouldn't. As Juna Mustad puts it, it's the anger everyone sees.
When you really boil it down, anger is a survival tool. It's completely natural, hardwired right into our brains from way back to get us ready to deal with a threat. But here's the thing. To really get a handle on it, we've got to separate the feeling of anger from what we do with it.
Okay, and this is a huge distinction to make. See, anger itself, that's just an emotion. It's information. It's your brain saying, hey, something's not right here. But aggression, yelling or getting physical, that's a behavior. And hostility, that's more like a resentful attitude. The emotion itself isn't good or bad. It's all about what we do with that signal, how we choose to respond. That's what really matters.
And this is where the whole anger iceberg idea comes in. It's such a perfect metaphor, isn't it? Because to really, truly understand what's going on with our anger, we have to look below the surface, below the waterline. That flash of temper that everybody sees, that's just the tiny tip of this giant, massive emotional structure hidden deep down.
All right, so let's take the plunge. Let's go beneath the surface and see what's really down there. What are those more vulnerable emotions that are actually fueling the anger we see up top?
So our sources point to these 8 big ones, these primary emotions that are usually hiding underneath the anger. Things like hurt, fear, shame, guilt, you can see them all here. And it makes sense when you think about it, right? When someone criticizes you, sure, you get angry, but what you might really be feeling is disrespected. Or if someone forgets your anniversary, yeah, it's annoying, but deep down it can trigger some serious hurt or loneliness. We jump to anger because, honestly, it just feels stronger and safer than feeling all that.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? Why? Why does our brain do that? Why does it automatically choose anger to cover up all these other, more vulnerable feelings?
Well, think of it like this. Feeling powerless or helpless, that's one of the absolute worst, most threatening feelings we can have. So our brain, on instinct, creates a jolt of anger to pull us out of that paralysis. It's like an emotional bodyguard, stepping in to shield the most wounded, vulnerable parts of ourselves.
And this quote from Teal Swan just nails it. That anger gives you a sudden surge of energy. All of a sudden, you feel like you have a choice, like you can do something. And that feels so much safer than just sitting in the helplessness of shame or being frozen by fear. It really is a tool for emotional survival.
And Dr. Gavor Mate adds another absolutely crucial layer to this. He talks about healthy anger, and its job is to protect your boundaries. It's the part of you that stands up and says, no, stop, that's not okay when someone crosses a line. See, it's not about attacking someone else, it's about protecting yourself. Okay, so understanding all this theory, that's like having the map. But now we've got to learn how to actually use that map to navigate our own lives and our own experiences.
Here's a really simple but honestly super powerful exercise you can try. First, just think of a time recently you felt moderately angry, nothing too huge. Then, you just describe what happened and what you did. Next, you look at that list of underwater emotions we talked about, hurt, fear, disrespect, and see which ones were there. And here's the magic step number 4. You ask yourself, what does this underlying feeling tell me that I really care about? And that all leads to this final, amazing insight when you complete this sentence. My anger was trying to protect my need for blank. You see, you're not just managing your anger anymore, you're translating it. You're figuring out your deepest needs, like your need for respect or safety or just to be seen.
And when you start practicing this kind of self-reflection, it can totally change your relationship with this incredibly powerful emotion.
It's like anger stops being this out-of-control enemy that hijacks you, and it actually becomes an ally. It becomes like a flashing red light on your car's dashboard, telling you exactly what needs your attention, which boundaries need to be protected. Your anger literally becomes a compass, pointing you directly toward the things that matter most to you.
Now, this mental understanding, getting the why, that's the map. That's the first huge step. The next part of the journey is learning to read the compass of your own body.
Noticing that tight jaw or that heat rising in your chest so you can catch the storm before it breaks. That's when you have a real choice in how you respond.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you feel that flash of anger start to rise, instead of just reacting, try to get curious. Ask yourself, okay, wait, what vulnerable need is this anger standing up to protect right now? What wound is it trying to shield? Because the answer to that question, well, that's where the real work and the real healing truly begins.